Hello and welcome to PMC English. I'm Idris and today we are with a great master. Great in the sense he has been into business and then spirituality. By profession, he's an engineer. A very warm welcome to our studio, Mr. Naman.
Namaste. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you in our studio this morning.
Thank you.
I'm really happy to see you. So a lot of questions in my mind. I'm wondering from where I should start. So I think we'll start with spirituality, the vast topic, I must say. If you can talk about the spirituality in connection with business.
Okay. So I met Patri sir for the first time in 2016, and it happened to be a business convention where he came, and every one of us, he made us sit and meditate. But at that point, it was just, I thought it was a music concert, just to cheer people up. So I thought, why not just go and attend it. After the event, everybody went on to congratulate him. I thought basically everybody went to meet him.
Right.
In my head, it was basically, paying your courtesy to the artist. So I went like that with that mindset.
Right.
And he looked into my eyes for 10 minutes and started yelling. And he started saying stuff like, you're living wrong, you're reading wrong, you're eating wrong. So eating wrong, immediately I understood what he meant.
Absolutely.
Living wrong was something that was very, very, very complex at that point in time, because I returned from US, I was doing pretty well in terms of society. But somebody coming and saying you're living wrong, and then what does it mean? Doesn't make any sense. It didn't make sense at that point in time.
Right.
Eventually, it took me like 2-3 years to figure out that he was talking about meditation, he was talking about spirituality.
Right.
Then I went to Vipassana, I did a 10-day course. Met a lot of people. And that point, I was working with the government as a policy advisor. So once I got free from that, wanted to do business, since I'm an entrepreneur by nature. So I wanted to start something of my own. So we recently launched a consultancy firm where we, along with 2 of my partners, we are working with a lot of different companies on tech advisory. So they basically outsource their technology to us so we can build it for them.
Right.
So there, the first question came, Patri sir, there was a quote from Patri sir. He says, if you take and give, it is a business. If you give and take, it is spirituality.
Very deep.
Yeah. So I was very confused, because in business, you definitely take first.
Correct.
And then you give, right? But then after thinking very deeply, I met a lot of people. I mean, recently I met Deepak Sangvi sir from Neelon.
Right.
I asked him the same question, what do you think, when Patri sir said, when you take and you give, it's a business. When you give and you take, it is spirituality. So after contemplating for some time, I figured that you get happiness by giving, right? People say money can't buy happiness, but people who give money are very happy because they know they're contributing to others.
Right.
So as a business, there is a moral responsibility of every businessman, every stakeholder, including employees, to ensure that they follow certain principles. For example, right food. For example, ethics. For example, treating each other with respect. For example, treating customers with respect.
Right.
Not scamming people, because there is a lot of this thing going on among small businesses where they think quick money is the easy way.
Right.
But legacy companies, companies who are not big yet, but they are on their way. I think these companies don't scam people. They respect each other. They have a sense of trust, which I think is very important in spirituality, because how you choose to speak, how you choose to conduct business, how you choose to deal with other people determines how you're going to be as a group, right? Definitely. And that group defines the company, because company without employees is nothing, right?
Absolutely.
So when I started thinking about how I can implement my spiritual philosophy on the business, it was very simple, that you choose the right words to speak. You don't lie. You don't scam people. You are truthful to yourself. That whatever you have decided, you are doing that. Just because there is certain distraction where you can make quick money, you don't distract yourself unethically.
Right.
I mean, if there is an opportunity coming, that's a different thing. But if there is a distraction coming where you can make like couple of this thing by just distracting yourself, then you should say no to that. right? Then taking care of each other, like as an employee, employees taking care of each other, I am taking care of them, they are taking care of me. And then meditating. One thing that we started was all of us started meditating when we were coming to office.
Right.
And I've been closely observing you guys, PMC English, PMC Telugu, PMC Hindi. There is a culture of meditation, and it doesn't matter if you're coming early at 6 o'clock or you're leaving at 1 o'clock, you're there 100%, right?
Definitely.
So because the impact of meditation is there. So how do you choose to create a culture where everybody promotes positivity in terms of work, in terms of in the conversations, in terms of food, in terms of even when you're going out, right? Anything like that impacts so much. So when employees meditate in the office, right? It's not just the employees meditating. When they go home, they are not agitated, they are not angry. They've eaten good food, they've eaten energetic food, they are around energetic people, so they carry the same energy to their own homes. And when they are in their homes and when they are talking to their family members, they spread the same energy there. If there is anger in the home, they all meditate. So you're not just making them meditate, you're actually tapping indirectly to all their family members.
Right.
Because then they are also happy. And when they are happy, they're coming to the office happy because obviously there is good energy, right food there.
Definitely.
And that's how the chain starts to build. And when employees come, or when the customers come, the employees are happy, they share the same energies with them. And somebody if asks, hey, there are times when people come and say, well, you know what, when I come here, I feel different. Why is it that? And I'm sure you guys must have experienced the same thing.
Definitely.
So basically a source of positivity that goes out to the world. So as a business, that I could think of as a business as a source of spirituality, it has to be the source of positivity, source of your values, source of your principles, extending to the world. So that's how I see business and spirituality together.
That's really amazing. I mean, I'm just speechless now because you touched each and every corner of the business and the work culture actually, where we should focus on and how should we work in a better way, so that not only the employees, not only the office, but the impact goes outside the office to the home and the family members too. And this cycle should go on. Right. Now, if we talk about the profitability and spirituality, like if we are too spiritual while working, or maybe business or something, do you think it can be profitable, or are there any challenges?
Yeah. So I think this is a very important question because a lot of us struggle, how much is too much? So actually I had a conversation, I once asked Patri sir this, that there are a lot of companies who are making a lot of profits. How do you see that? Because when you call abundance, that's truly abundance, right? If profits are growing every year and they're coming into your company. One thing that I realized, the sir's concept was Sansar mein Nirvan. Okay, so he didn't say that you stay in Nirvan all the time, or he didn't say you should stay in Sansar all the time, right? Making money is not evil, right? Not understanding money is evil because then you don't know how to use it. But when you are making money, I think keeping a tab and feeling good or bad, I think it's irrelevant, the feeling, because you are doing your dharma. Okay, you are doing your job, you are doing what your duty is, and because of that, something, you're getting benefited. Either it's money, it's social capital, it's impact, because a lot of times, just like NGOs, right? Some NGOs receive a lot of donations.
Definitely.
Right? They can't they can't say, oh no, we are receiving a lot of donations, right? They're doing something because of which people are acknowledging that by donating them.
Right.
Similar goes with the business. Like you are, let's say PMCs, let's say any other brand, they're doing their dharma by delivering what they're supposed to deliver. When people recognize this effort and they like that effort because they're using the services, they start paying them. Like Google, everything is free. But if some service comes where you see there is no ad, like YouTube Premium they launched,
right,
and they're charging me 125 rupees. So I don't think anybody will think, oh, I should not pay it. Because it's a convenience fees they are charging.
Correct.
And they are giving everything for free. So you know that, okay, they're doing their dharma. Google will make $1 billion, $1 trillion out of it. And that's just in nature. That's just the cost, right?
Right.
One thing that I thought personally for that, and this is purely my opinion, is the more money you make, the more responsible you are towards society. And that's where spirituality comes in.
Right.
Because your nirvana, sansar is, you are doing your dharma, people are acknowledging that dharma, and they are like they are paying you, or they are giving their gratitude in terms of money, energy, in terms of social capital. How you choose to use that reward, how you choose to use that result, which could be profit, which could be some NGO gaining some award, gaining some reputation among people. How you choose to use that. There is one thing called CSR, but you can go up and beyond that. Your pure experience is Ratan Tata sir. They don't just spend money, they spend, like, they're industrialists, so they set up industries, they set up lives of people, because Tata is known for supporting their employees, supporting their customers. So you can go up and beyond like Tata, or you can have a foundation that, like Reliance has its foundation. They are working with cricket, football, they're improving sports, they are into other hospitals also, they're different things. So how you choose to use that result, which could be profit, in most cases it's profit, determines how well you are giving back to the society. Because at one point you will feel, so for me it's very easy. For me, I know that I have a moral responsibility, I have a personal responsibility also, right? Because I'm in Sansar also, I'm in Nirvana also.
Right.
So I choose to give my time, I choose to give, contribute wherever I can to the best of my capability. That way I'm realizing that, okay, I'm not keeping everything for myself, but I'm keeping everything for somebody who wants to walk the same path as me, which is meditation.
Right.
So anytime somebody needs anytime somebody needs me as a volunteer, anytime somebody needs some contribution, I'm more than happy to contribute to the best of my ability.
Definitely.
If I feel time is there, I give my time. If I feel I can contribute something and focus my time elsewhere, I'll do that.
Yes.
So that's how I see as business, which is, I see profits, which is supporting my spirituality and other spirituality as well.
Right. You have taken it in a positive way. Like when we get a lot of money or money in abundance, we need to know how to use it properly, how to utilize it, so that the world becomes a better place for everybody. Yes. The people who do business and the people who are involved in business directly or indirectly, right?
Yeah.
Now, next thing, I would like to know that how can meditation help us to have a better work culture?
Wow. Okay. So meditation, I'll go back to the basics. Okay. Our brain majority of our brain is controlled by subconscious brain. Minority is conscious brain. Why do we choose subconscious? Because 95% of our daily decisions are driven by subconscious brain. It's a very common example is when you wake up, you don't think, oh no, I need to put my slippers on, now I need to walk 10 steps.
Right.
Should I brush first or should I do that first? Should I drink first? You just go subconscious. Even you're half asleep, you're just picking up your toothbrush without even seeing where the toothbrush is, right? Because your subconscious is programmed in a way that you do this daily, day in and day out. Right. So when you come to your office, right, you don't think, oh no, I need to put my ignition on, now I need to book a cab and I'll take, after 10 meters I'll go left, or you don't calculate, it just happens. So when you come to your office, your 95% daily decisions are driven by your subconscious brain, right? So for example, if I see in a media company, if I see somebody working on a video, subconsciously they'll know, where to stop, where to cut, where to, how to do stuff. Conscious brain comes in when there is something unusual going on, right? So for example, if there is a video and there is another video on top of it, then the conscious brain will come, how did it happen, If there is a single video, you'll just go cut, copy, Control X, Control V, and immediately do it. So when the subconscious is responsible for 95% of your time, meditation helps you in understanding your subconscious brain. Why? Because first is the quality of your thoughts. We get 60 to 70,000 thoughts in a day. Right. Patri sir says there are 4 types of thoughts, right? Destructive, negative, positive, miraculous. So what kind of thought pattern do I have primarily? That you can know by meditation, because when you close your eyes, all the river thoughts, they flow like a river. Then you see, okay, I'm more towards destructive and negative. So you are mindful throughout your day that if, let's say your colleague X came and he says something that you didn't like, if you are unaware, you'll start yelling or you'll start reacting to whatever the situation, wherever you are in that situation, right? Yes. But if you have meditated, if you understand today my mood is not very great, you will first warn them, okay, yaar, I'm not feeling well, why don't we have this conversation at some point, and I just want to finish my work. you are effectively controlling their mood also, your mood also.
Right.
If you are unaware, you'll just go and say, oh, you know what, I don't want this, you're stupid, this thing is that thing is there, right? And then you will receive the reaction, and then it will escalate to any level. So when you are meditating, you are first aware of your own self. When you are aware of your own self, you are aware of others also, in a way, right? And when they are meditating, and suppose, let's say you haven't meditated and you don't know your state of mind, but your colleague has meditated, and something he or she must have said that he or she might have triggered you, but now they know, okay, he's not feeling well, or his mood is not there at the peak.
Right.
So then they will say, okay, you know what, let me come back later, you should sit down. Okay. So it's both the ways, right? When you have the culture of meditation in the company. The second thing is, again, the principles. When you are eating mindfully. When you are working mindfully. If you are in accounts, if there is money related to this thing, strategy is there, decision making improves drastically, because now you are aware who you are working with, where you are working, and what kind of work are you doing. Earlier, what happens when you're not meditating, you have 10,000 things in your head, half of the time you're there in the meeting, you're texting your friend, you're planning something, and this thing, you're checking Twitter, like this is how people work, right?
Definitely.
But when you are aware, when you're meditating, when you understand, first you are aware where you are working, where you are right now, because you are there in the present moment. When you're there in the present moment, obviously that present moment is going to be very, very, very effective.
Right.
Once it is effective for you, it is effective for others also, because it's a group thing.
Definitely.
So now when you are meditating, you are clearly aware of who you are, where you are, and how you are working. So is with other people. So now what happens if something comes out of the blue? Let's say market crashed, 2008 is a very big example, 1999 is there, 1930 is there, 1970, like there are tons of examples. Now there is some external force that has come in. Now what will happen? If you understand throughout the day you've been working, you understand, okay, there might be something wrong that might happen, let's say 1 year from now, 1 week from now, but it has happened yet tomorrow. You will not lose your patience, you will not lose your cool. Obviously you might lose it for some time, but your refractory time becomes less, so you come back to your own self. Okay, this has happened, now what's next? Instead of panicking, you start working.
Right.
So there is a sense of acceptability, there is a sense of surrender that mindfulness brings, that meditation brings. Then your food is there. When you're eating food mindfully with others, everybody is happy on the table. The food the body is receiving is in a happy state. So your body obviously responds well to it. You are able to work longer hours relative to, if you're not meditating.
Right.
Even if you have to pull, let's say you're supposed to leave by 4, but you're leaving at 8. Still if you meditate and leave, obviously you go back to your family in a happy state. So all in all, if you put meditation in a working culture, you're not just working with employees, but you are working with people who understand themselves and who are mindful enough to make sure that they create this place. Like I said, the company without employees is nothing. It's like a car without an engine, right?
Exactly. And
the engine is clean, engine is effective, the car is going to perform well. No matter if it is a Ferrari or a Maruti, the engine has to work in sync, and it has to be clean, and it has to be efficient. So meditation is like that fuel, that cleaning oil, that that coolant. Definitely. That makes sure that the entire engine is working perfectly. Right. So so this is how I see.
That's a brilliant example, I would say. Like when you come from the engineering background, so I can really relate to it, and I can really understand. This is the perfect example.